Coming up tonight on Weather Underground.
It just happened so quickly. The front walls caved in and just water gushed in on us, and it was like, whoa.
Record rain triggering flash flooding, leaving parts of Kansas City underwater. The rain now affecting other parts of the country. Just how much you can expect to fall as the flood danger continues to rise.
The storms are now just a preview of what's to come this weekend. An unusual summer nor'easter is setting up. Who needs to be on alert for coastal flooding and extreme winds?
And we're nearing the end of the month, which means we are edging closer to the peak of hurricane season. Our hurricane expert is breaking down the basins, looking at past quiet Julys that turned into explosive Augusts. Weather Underground starts right now.
Well, we are tracking a potential summer nor'easter of all things set to come in this weekend, bringing a threat of flash flooding, some strong winds. We're going to have more on that coming up in just a couple minutes, but welcome into Weather Underground. I'm Mike Bettis.
And I'm Alex Wilson. Last night's storm triggered flash flooding on hundreds of roads near Kansas City after record rainfall fell in the metro area last night. At one point, more than 2 inches of rain in just 45 minutes. As you can imagine, that not just led to flooding, but also countless water rescues.
When I saw the water, I was trying to go back, but my car wouldn't let me. So I just float with the water. I couldn't do anything else but pray and ask God to save me.
Well, this scene played out dozens of times in the Kansas City area last night. Again this morning, law enforcement says there are some areas that are still underwater that have never flooded before. Last night's storms backbuilt on themselves, bringing more heavy rain today to areas that got record rainfall yesterday. So we've got saturated areas. We're adding a ton of water on top of it, and that, as you can imagine, the recipe for trouble. Some
really incredible images. You take a look there, folks are up on the rooftops here. You saw the dramatic images there of people being rescued and taken out by boat. A lot of the metro was flooded. Restaurants were flooded. Businesses went underwater. Low underpasses went underwater. There was water still remaining today. Look how fast some of that is flowing too.
Yeah, previous river crest was broken by 2 feet. And it goes to show you, you had the law enforcement saying areas that we never have seen flooding have flooded, and this reaching record. There's the quick moving water.
Look how high it is, compared to the base of the bridge there, but it's got a lot of force behind it. No question about that. Indian Creek, as mentioned, went to record. So let's talk about those floodwater impacts, because for a lot of you, it caught you off guard and you have to react and react quickly. Last thing you may want to do, though, is go through that water. A lot of you want to go up, not through it, okay? So when you talk about flooding, there's that fast-moving water, right? Just 6 inches of flowing water can knock a person off their feet.
Right, so you'd be surprised at how little water it takes for you, but also your car. 2 feet of flowing water. You think that's easily drivable, but that can float a vehicle.
Water flowing at 4 miles per hour has enough force to damage a home, and that water was definitely flowing at a high rate of speed there in Kansas City. There could be other areas that could be impacted similarly tonight. We're keeping our fingers crossed, but similar setup.
Right. I want to show you right now a live look at Freeman, Missouri. This is just south of Kansas City. Of course, currently under a flood warning. You're looking at the radar picture. Yeah, the rain has stopped in many of these areas. However, we are dealing still with the aftermath of the flooding, and that's why the flood warnings do continue. There's the Kansas City metro area with the rain showers drifting to the south. Anything we see out there is very light, but this is the area that we continue to watch for the flooding problem. So south side of the Kansas City metro area, even though you're generally done with the rainfall at this point, you still have the problems because of all the heavy rain that came down. We're going to move things into motion through the remainder of today and tonight. So we're over in the Kansas City area. A few shower storms possible, but at this point, we're going to begin to watch parts of western Kentucky, western Tennessee, north parts of Mississippi for that potential for heavy rain showers as we go into the overnight and morning hours of your Friday. A lot of moisture to work with. This is available moisture in the atmosphere, and you can see the highest levels of moisture focused there into western Tennessee, western Kentucky, southern Missouri, northern Arkansas, as well as portions of northwest Louisiana, or northwest Mississippi rather. So these are areas that could get in on some really heavy downpours through late Saturday. Plenty of areas with 1 to 2+ inches of rainfall possible. And we've been talking about areas that are just too saturated to take any more rainfall.
Been no stranger to heavy rain. You just take a look at the last 2 weeks here across the Midwest. Heavy amounts of rain, especially across Iowa, Wisconsin, through portions of Illinois as well. Some places here, 600% of average. Amazing how much rain has fallen for us here with these summertime thunderstorms. As you might expect, going hand in hand with that, a river flooding. 40 different river gauges are at flood stage here, and for some places, this has gone on for weeks we've been in flood stage. Freeport, Illinois, by the way, the Pecatonica River here, the record at 19.8, but notice latest observation down to 15, so we're now below major flood stage, but it's a very slow recession of the river. It's not just going down. It's just a very, very gradual thing for us here. In Freeport, by the way, Illinois Highway 75 and many surrounding areas closed at 16 feet. So we're just trying to gradually make some progress here to get people's lives back to normal and maybe just resume regular road travel, if nothing else, Alex.
Yeah, it's been a tough go for folks there. Travel affected this evening in a place like Atlanta. We've got a ground stop at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. So that's going to mean you've got some delays whether you're looking to leave town or come into town. Right now, temperatures around 90 degrees. There are those storms that have been generally moving towards the south and east. Many areas across the metro getting in on some of the heavy rain showers. And with the airport on the south side of town kind of sandwiched between several thunderstorms, that's why we've got the ground stop in play. These will continue to move to the south and east, so following along parts of 20 down onto 75 and 85 as well. Not just into the Atlanta metro, though. Around Montgomery, we've seen showers up into parts of western North Carolina and upstate South Carolina. We go into the evening overnight, lose a lot of that, so we turn things off as far as the storms are concerned. Tomorrow through the day, more coverage of showers and thunderstorms through parts of, say, northern Alabama, northern Mississippi as we go through the morning. We'll continue to watch the rest of the day for the chance of the rain and storms around a place like Atlanta.
You know, you work your way a little bit farther to the north now. We're still dealing with some inclement weather here. It's a little bit on the cooler side. 70 in Boston right now, 75 in New York. It's overcast. Rain showers have plagued us, and it's at times been a little bit breezy today as well. A lot of isolated storms are going to be in the forecast for us here. It's also impacted us at some of the airports as well. Take a look at what your air travel is doing right now. Places like Boston, we've got now hour delays. We've improved, though, places like New York, LaGuardia, and Newark airports. At one point, we had half-hour delays. Those are backing off a bit, but check with your air carrier, especially if you're taking off or you're expecting someone to come in. You can see just scattered showers around. That's the activity you've been watching here through, say, southern New England, then stormy weather force across Washington, D.C., down through the Jersey Shore as well. So a couple of areas to watch. Thunderstorms are forecast tonight with temperatures falling back down into the 60s and the 70s tonight. Burlington, you'll be down into the upper 50s. For New York, 10 o'clock till maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. Still watching for more storms in our forecast. After that, things begin to clear out for you. Morning drive should be a little bit better for you. In Boston, showers ending sooner than later, probably within the next hour or so. Then cloudy after that. 6 o'clock in the morning as you head out. It's sun visor down, sunglasses on, you've got sunshine and a better drive in. So there's some improving weather as we go through the overnight here. Just be aware that you're going to deal with the nasty stuff here short term here. We're talking dinner time, maybe about the time you're putting kids to bed, but tomorrow morning, okay.
Looking much better. All right, Mike, thanks. We've got much more to come here on Weather Underground. Slow-moving storms targeting the mid-Atlantic, and that's going to put 25 million people on alert for heavy rain and also flooding. We're going to track this summer nor'easter and bring you the timing you need to know now to keep you ahead of the threat as we head into the weekend. What do you say we take you to Ocean City, Maryland? It is a packed house as we look towards the northeast beaches. Could be a different story, though, as we head into your upcoming Friday, Saturday. I'm going to show you what you might be up against. Rain, wind. Say it ain't so.
It ain't so.
The best tour of Italy is the one you create at Olive Garden. Create your own tour of Italy starting at $12.99. Choose 3 of 9 of your favorites and have everything you love all on one plate. But hurry, create your own tour of Italy and soon at Olive Garden.
The moment you realize, how could there possibly be this many blues?
Don't worry. At Lowe's, we guarantee you'll always love your paint, or we'll replace it.
Get paint and primer now starting at only $17.98 and save an extra 5% with your Lowe's Advantage card.
To feed your phenomenal, Lean Cuisine is changing. Over 20 dishes with no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. With ingredients like toasted sesame seeds and savory rice noodles in our garlic sesame noodles with beef. Feed your phenomenal with Lean Cuisine.
Bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, though you make my heart a wreck, make my heart a wreck, and you make my life a mess, make my life a mess, yes, a mess of happiness.
While other insurance companies just see a house, we see the home you've worked really hard for. So why not give it the protection it deserves?
I just want to
to find a used car without getting ripped off?
Start at thenewcarfax.com.
Show me used trucks with one owner.
Pretty cool.
Show me the Carfax.
Start your used car search at the allnewcarfax.com.
The beer that's as refreshing as refreshment gets. Mine and Kugel's Summer Shandy.
Oscar Mayer is making big changes to hot dogs. We went back to the drawing board and the cutting board. We removed the added nitrates and nitrites, byproducts, and artificial preservatives in all of our meat. Every single one. Why? For the love of hot dogs.
I take pictures of sunrises, but with my back pain, I couldn't sleep and get up in time. Then I found Aleve PM.
Aleve PM is the only one to combine a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour pain-relieving strength of Aleve.
I'm back.
Aleve PM for a better AM.
AMHQ weekend is a blast. I mean, we have so much fun.
Hi, store number one. How you doing? See you later, because you're going to go out into the Atlantic and we're never going to see you again.
AMHQ weekend is so much fun.
She's right. Sweet Pepto-Bismol. Look at this.
We're a little bit more laid back because it's the weekend.
It's not that complex. It's all about getting you ready for your weekend. Although I do advise wearing a crash helmet.
Start your day with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno, opening the window to your weather on AMHQ. Mornings on the Weather Channel.
All right, welcome back to Weather Underground. We want you to get prepared in Cape Cod and in New York. Why?
Why?
I got one word for you, and you're not going to believe me when I tell you this word. Nor'easter.
In late July?
Yes. There's a
Say it ain't
summer
so.
nor'easter coming. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's going to snow?
Well, it ain't snow yet.
It's not going to snow, but you don't need snow to actually have it be a nor'easter. It's really all dependent on the wind direction.
Right. So what do you say we set things up? Let's tee this up and show everybody what's coming your way. So we've got this storm system moving east during the day tomorrow. Of course, that deep moisture along the cold front. That's why we're talking about that threat for flooding issues, say, into parts of western Tennessee, into Arkansas, northern Mississippi. Here's our strong upper disturbance, though, as we've got those jet stream winds diving southeast behind that front.
What's interesting about this is how it really begins to dive south. This really feels like maybe a spring or even a fall pattern as the strong winds come all the way down here and then wrap their way up into the coast. That's what the upper levels of the atmosphere are doing. But at the surface, you get a surface low that forms right near the coast, and that looks like the setup for a nor'easter, right?
It
That's
does.
exactly how
you
you
would
do
look
it.
at this in January and go, bingo, if you don't want to go to school or work. If you're a plow operator, you're like,
Cha-ching.
Well, that
right?
too, but
a lot of things are going to happen with this: wind, rain, flooding, coastal erosion, rip currents, you name it. Roughly 25 million people under flash flood watches right now as heavy rain threatens the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast as we go right into the weekend now.
Right, and joining us now to talk about the threat, Greg Carbon, the Forecast Operations Branch Chief at the Weather Prediction Center. Greg, thanks so much for joining us tonight. You know, not what people would expect necessarily this time of year, and I would imagine you guys are concerned about the locations that are going to be affected because the beach is pretty much the most popular place to be this time of year.
Well, a wet weekend ahead, certainly for the mid-Atlantic, and watching things come together right now across parts of the Ohio Valley, as you already mentioned. You've got this anomalous disturbance in the atmosphere coming out of the Great Lakes region, and it's going to combine with this amazing amount of moisture that we're seeing stream eastward from the Midwest. You know, the floods last night in Kansas City were partly a result of this anomalous moisture. That's streaming east, the disturbance, unusual disturbance for this time of year, spreading south. It's all going to come together in the next 24 to 36 hours right over the mid-Atlantic, and we're going to get a soaking out of this one.
Greg, you know, we've got a lot of different things that we're watching with this, a lot of different weather facets. Which one concerns you the most?
Well, I think it, purely the rainfall. We're looking at about 18 million people within the 2-inch or greater rainfall total over the next 24 hours. Now, a lot of the area has been somewhat dry, not abnormally so. We've seen some heavier showers over the last week or so. But if that rainfall comes over a very short period of time in the wrong basin, we have some susceptible places that could see flash flooding. So water can be very dangerous, especially when it comes fast. And so we'll have to keep an eye out for that during the day tomorrow and especially into Saturday.
Yeah, and we look at the forecast for wind as well. I think some people may be surprised at how strong these winds are.
Yes, actually, there's the possibility that the low pressure may set records for this time of year. We're not talking low pressure of the magnitude you would see with a tropical system, but a very unusually deep system will form. The one benefit is it's moving fast and it's going to move offshore quickly. So by Sunday, drier and, better weather will move in.
All right, Greg Carpenter joining us from the D.C. area with the Weather Prediction Center. Greg, thank you very much. I think the thing about it is this. You're thinking, all right, I'm going to the beach, it's summer. Like, I'm not really checking the forecast because this is not something I'd expect to see.
No, I think a lot of people go, I don't need to check it. It's the beach. It's going to be 80s and then 70s.
This could be an extreme danger if you're not prepared. Consider the storms that are coming. Consider even the rip current risk, too.
Let's talk a little bit more about those winds. Onshore winds lead to the dangerous rip currents as well, so you've got to be careful with that. But into some of these coastal locations, winds around 40 miles, 50 miles an hour. So some very strong gusts will be a possibility as we get into our weekend. As Greg Carpenter said, by later Sunday, nicer weather begins to move in. So maybe some more beach conditions.
Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy combines German-style Weiss beer with the taste of natural lemonade. It's as refreshing as refreshment gets. Leinenkugels. Welcome to the Liney side.
It's our Men's Warehouse buy one get one free sale on many great looks now. Plus, expert stylists will help you find your best look. And select suits are just $1.99. Men's Warehouse. You're gonna like the way you look.
If you've got a life, you got a Swiffer.
Got gas, acid? Try Phazon Gas and Acid. The strongest gas-fighting medicine with fast-acting heartburn relief you can get. All in one great-tasting chew. Maximum strength Phazon Gas and Acid.
The moment you realize, how could there possibly be this many blues?
Don't worry. At Lowe's, we guarantee you'll always love your paint, or we'll replace it.
Get paint and primer now starting at only $17.98 and save an extra 5% with your Lowe's Advantage card.
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad. And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls. And you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for Better Car Replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
There's an opportunity in every window. So start your day opening the window to your weather with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno, looking out at the stories and the science behind your forecast. Open up your mornings with AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? Hi, I'm George Foreman. People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can provide patent referrals and submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-712-8735. That's 1-800-712-8735.
AMHQ weekend is so much fun.
She's right. Sweet Pepto-Bismol. Look at this. It's all about getting you ready for your weekend. It's not that complex, although I do advise wearing a crash helmet.
Currently in our area, 85 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 71, winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy. Friday night, a mostly clear sky, low 64, winds east-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Well, welcome back into Weather Underground. Here with Dr. Rick Knabb, our hurricane expert. The Atlantic Basin slowly beginning to come to life as we get a little closer to our peak of hurricane season. We've got this area to watch now across the Atlantic, and a lot of people wonder, all right, is this when things are really perking up?
They're starting to show signs of getting there, but it's going to take a little time. It's always a big question. What part of August does the switch get flipped? Right. You know, it seems like every year that's what happens. Right now, you're just seeing signs of July turning into August, with the waves coming off of Africa being a little bit more perky. The one that's just southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands is the one the Hurricane Center is mentioning in their tropical weather outlook, giving it a 3 out of 10 chance over the next 5 days, moving slowly westward, no chance in the next 2 days. But I want to show you why this is associated with a tropical wave, even though you do have the intertropical convergence zone and the monsoon trough that are semi-permanent features there. But these waves tend to dictate when you have something that could develop. That was Monday, 3 days ago, right about this time. Watch that wave leave the coast of Africa. And in the water vapor, because it's been so dry and stable out there, it's a little hard to see it, but there it goes passing Cabo Verde Islands. And then now, here it is past 30 west. And at that longitude, that's where the monsoon trough and the tropical wave are getting together to generate some disorganized thunderstorms. But I'm looking at this next one because that one has been moving over Africa for the last few days, and it's about to depart the coast. That's next week's problem.
All right. And what do you think about that one? Does this one look like it has a little extra oomph to it?
A little bit more, but not a tremendously greater amount. It's just kind of the next wave that looks a little bit more. The next one probably look a little bit more.
Because we're going to flip the switch.
Yeah, as we go from July into August, it's going to climatologically ramp up really quickly. And I wanted to share with you some past years where there was practically nothing going on in July and then a lot in August, just to drive home the point. A quiet July does not mean a quiet August. All of these 5 years that I selected had no named storms at all in July, and some of these had nothing until August. In 2004, that's the one that takes the cake because there were 8 named storms in August after a completely quiet July, and 5 of those were hurricanes: Charlie, Francis, the beginning of the Ivan and Jean, and all of that. And it started with Alex at the beginning of August.
That's right.
In 2012, we had 8 named storms as well, 4 of those hurricanes. 1999 had nothing, and then 4 named storms with 3 hurricanes, 2 majors, one of them Brett, that went into Texas as a Cat 4 in August. 1992, I put this on the list because it was completely quiet up through August, and then talk about flipping a switch, going from nothing to a Cat 5 landfall in Florida. That's another difference between August and July. And then 2016, just last year, we had nothing in July, but 4 named storms, 3 hurricanes in August, including the first Florida hurricane in over a decade.
All right, so you can't say that a quiet July breeds a quiet August by any means.
Nope, the switch will get flipped at some point in August.
All right, what do you say we go take a little trip to Hawaii? One of your favorite places, I know.
Love to do that.
Mike, you want to come?
Yes.
Okay.
Please, can you put me in like your checked baggage and I'll just cruise on in?
I don't want you to be in cargo. It's not climate controlled, and plus, you always get so excited when you get the little bag of pretzels on the flight. Although you get more, I would think, going to Hawaii.
I think you get, I believe you get Hawaiian rolls.
But if you head out there in August, that is the busiest part of the hurricane season for the Central Pacific, including Hawaii, and a lot of the storms are fed from the Eastern Pacific. And right now, there's nothing really headed toward the Central Pacific, but in August it can be that way.
Hawaii sits way out here to the left. So.
But here are the 5 busiest Augusts in Central Pacific history, and no other month has ever had as many as 5 and 4 this many times. 2015 and 2009 had 5 named storms each. 2009, I was out there, Deputy Director of Central Pacific Hurricane Center, 4th busiest season on record. I am a little bit of a hurricane magnet. Sorry about that.
So if in Hawaii, if there's a month you're going to pay attention, it's August.
August is the busiest month in the Central Pacific.
All right, Dr. Knapp, thanks.
Also, our hurricane magnet, if you have a honeymoon or something coming up, just send $20 in the location to Weather Underground, and we'll make sure Dr. Knapp is not there during your trip. Right. We've got much more still to come on Weather Underground. Storms set to intensify in the mid-Atlantic starting tomorrow and lasting through the weekend, bringing the potential for very heavy rain.
Today we're out here with some big news about type 2 diabetes. You have type 2 diabetes, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you this. How does diabetes affect your heart?
It doesn't, does it?
Actually, it does. Type 2 diabetes can make you twice as likely to die from a cardiovascular event like a heart attack or stroke. And with heart disease, your risk is even higher. You didn't know that? No. Yeah. But wait, there's good news for adults who have type 2 diabetes and heart disease. Jardiance is the only type 2 diabetes pill with a life-saving cardiovascular benefit. Jardiance is proven to both significantly reduce the chance of dying from a cardiovascular event in adults who have type 2 diabetes and heart disease and lower your A1C.
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration. This may cause you to feel dizzy, faint, or lightheaded, or weak upon standing. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. Symptoms include nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, and trouble breathing. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of ketoacidosis or an allergic reaction. Symptoms of an allergic reaction include rash, swelling, and difficulty breathing or swallowing. Do not take Jardiance if you are on dialysis or have severe kidney problems. Other side effects are sudden kidney problems, genital yeast infections, increased bad cholesterol, and urinary tract infections, which may be serious. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you have any medical conditions.
So now you know all that, what do you think?
That it's time to think about Jardiance.
Ask your doctor about Jardiance and get to the heart of what matters.
It's 6 a.m. 40 million Americans are waking up to a Gillette shave. And at our factory in Boston, 1,200 workers are starting their day building on over 100 years of heritage, craftsmanship, and innovation. Today, we're bringing you America's #1 shave at lower prices every day, putting money back in the pockets of millions of Americans. As one of those workers, I'm proud to bring you Gillette quality for less, because nobody can beat the men and women of Gillette. Gillette, the best a man can get.
This is Lloyd. To prove to you that the better choice for him is Aleve, he's agreed to give it up.
Okay, but I have 30 acres to cover by sundown.
We'll be with him all day as he goes back to taking Tylenol.
Yeah, I was okay, but after lunch, my knees started hurting again, so more pills. Yep, another pill stop. Can I get my Aleve back yet? For my pain, I want my Aleve.
Get all-day minor arthritis pain relief with an easy open cap.
Sam, why is your head covered in bubble wrap?
Because I'm not covered in life insurance.
You should check out PolicyGenius.com. They compare all the best insurers to help you find the right policy. So it's super easy, unlike this. Compare and save with PolicyGenius.com.
Attention diabetics. The FDA has just issued a warning that Invokana may cause an increased risk of amputations.
If you took Invokana or think you might have taken Invokana and then had an amputation, call the Goldwater Law Firm.
Call us right now. You may be entitled to substantial compensation.
If you took Invokana and then had an amputation of any kind, call 1-800-823-7600. That's 1-800-823-7600.
I am totally blind. And Non-24 can make me show up too early or too late or make me feel like I'm not really there. Talk to your doctor and call 844-234-2424.
Gentlemen, Beggin' Skinny Strips or Beggin' Black Label?
This too! What a delicious dilemma! Beggin' Strips Premium Edition. With real meat as ingredient 1.
Everything to your liking.
Beggin' Strips Premium. Because Beggin'!
Clear Eyes believes every time you open your eyes, it's your moment to shine. Clear Eyes moisturizes for up to 12 hours of soothing comfort. Trust the #1 eye drop and make the most of your moment. Clear Eyes. Let them see you shine.
AMHQ weekend is a blast. I mean, we have so much fun.
Hi, storm number 1. How you doing? See you later, because you're going to go out into the Atlantic and we're never going to see you again.
AMHQ weekend is so much fun.
She's right. Sweet Pepto-Bismol. Look at this.
We're a little bit more laid back because it's the weekend.
It's not that complex. It's all about getting you ready for your weekend. Although I do advise wearing a crash helmet.
That is the story tonight, at least illustrated from coast to coast. Dangerous flash flooding a concern. You're watching Weather Underground. I'm Alex Wilson.
And I'm Mike Bettis, right now closely watching a new round of storms that could bring flooding very much like what we saw yesterday. Could happen in the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. In some places could get more than a half a foot of rain. We're going to break down the timing and impacts coming up through the weekend for a summer nor'easter, believe it or not. That's straight ahead.
Yeah, we've got new video for you out of Freeman, Missouri, about 40 miles south of Kansas City. They picked up more than 7 inches of rain in 24 hours. More than 2 inches of that rain fell in a single hour, and that led to scenes like this.
Look at this, water rescues. Poor guy here stuck in his truck, had to be rescued by a boat here. It was a really tough situation late last night, early this morning. We still got high water in a lot of places. The problem with these storms was they just cranked out the rain. It was storms over the same location over and over and over again. We call that training in meteorological terms. Really, all you have to think about it is there's train track running through Kansas City, okay? And it's just storms on the track, one after another, after another, after another. Especially south side of town had some of the heaviest storms. Again, more than 7 inches in some places. Take a look at Willowbrook, 2 inches. Fisher Park, 4 inches. Lexington Park, over 5 inches. Fontana, 7.5 inches of rain. In Harrisonville, about 4.25 inches of rain. And this is why we had so much flooding. Take a look, by the way, at Coach's Bar and Grill in Kansas City before. Great looking bar, great looking booths, the whole deal, right? Look at this. After the flood, they've got about 3 or 4 feet of water in there. The high tops there are floating away. Tough to see what happened, but a lot of businesses, a lot of communities went underwater, unfortunately, and it's going to be one of those situations where some heavy rain producing storms tonight could produce similar results, not in Kansas City, but in other locations downstream. So we're really watching the Mid-South this evening. So let's keep you up to date on what's going on here, because, you know, you look at a place maybe like Indianapolis, we could be a target for these storms.
Right. You know, it's been so soggy across parts of the Midwest. 2 rounds of storms for Indianapolis. One this evening, again overnight, the possibility for some stronger storms in addition to that heavy rainfall potential. Here's your water vapor imagery showing that front draping southward. So we've been watching some of that moisture working into parts, as Mike mentioned, of the Mid-South. But that's where we've seen quite a bit of heavy rainfall producers. But we do have rain showers and thunderstorms back behind this into parts of, say, central Indiana, central Illinois, into sections of Ohio as well. Here's your future radar, and what it shows us is that Mid-South could see some of the bigger flooding issues, but we still have the showers and thunderstorms in the cards for you in Indianapolis. You get a slow mover over you, not out of the question to see some issues tomorrow morning, generally to the south of town for the shower and thunderstorm development, but we will be watching even places like Cincinnati as we get into your early part of Friday. Rainfall still to come through late Saturday, 3 to 5 inches over into parts of West Virginia, northern Mississippi. For a place like Indianapolis, things drying out, but a good possibility of 1 to 2 inches for areas south of Nashville, northern Alabama, and Mississippi as well. Mike?
All right, into the Northeast we go. We've had some passing showers for us here and some low clouds across some of the big hubs here. If you're flying here, just be aware there have been some delays. Boston, we've been running about hour delays. Some renegade storms near Elmira, little line of storms coming for us here. You know, through the Finger Lakes and through Burlington, they've cleared us now, but just be aware there could be some storms here that could hit you here. Saranac Lake, they finally cleared us, but Long Lake over toward, say, Montpelier, these these are areas that we'll watch for stormy weather here momentarily. I want to take you back to one area, including the capital here in Maine. Augusta's got some storms, especially over town and just to the north, right along 95. Some issues for us here. So just heads up. I mean, there'll be some really brief storms that you see tonight, but watch for a little bit of lightning that could come with them. Let's show you the forecast here, because for many of you, the weather gets incredibly interesting 24 plus hours from now. These storms, they die down. Eventually, though, we're going to see another low begin to generate here near the Delmarva, and then beginning late Friday going into the weekend, notice what happens here. More storms begin to fire up. We'll pause it right there. 8:30 in the evening on Friday, the beginnings of what may be our next weekend nor'easter, believe it or not, Alex.
Yeah, crazy to think of that in late July rather than late January. Live look at Pittsburgh this evening. A flash flood watch goes into effect tomorrow morning. Just one of the cities that could see some heavy rainfall across parts of the mid-Atlantic and Northeast.
All right, more rain on the way for the mid-Atlantic and surrounding areas, putting us at flash flood risk. Joining us now, Mike Fries with National Weather Service office in Pittsburgh. Mike, thanks for being with us. What do you think, the risks are here with this next system that develops across Pennsylvania? It looks like it could get rough from west to east.
Well, yeah, we've already got some heavy rainfall south of Pittsburgh this evening, and coming out of the last probably 6 weeks or so of almost continuous heavy rain in our area, we're already more susceptible than normal. The system that is over us now really doesn't get out of here before we see the next system drop into the area. And some impressive moisture will be coming west off the Atlantic from it as well.
Yeah, we look at some of the areas that could see some of the higher totals down near the state line with Maryland, state line near West Virginia, and some of that includes your territory. Are there areas in particular that you're already worried about?
Well, areas just south of Pittsburgh have had a lot of flooding even in just the last few days, and those are areas that are susceptible very much so to begin with, especially west of the Allegheny front. Maybe Fayette County and areas around Morgantown, West Virginia. Those areas tend to be pretty susceptible in general.
How big of a concern is flash flooding, especially in some of the hilly terrain?
It's a big concern in the hilly terrain as well as the urbanized areas. Wherever you have hills and concrete, it's a very bad mixture.
And, we talk about areas across parts of the Northeast being wet. You mentioned you guys have seen rainfall already. How do you compare to a typical July?
I'm not sure where we are in July so far, but I know June we had one of our airports here just south of Pittsburgh that had its wettest June on record. So that's why I mentioned we're already coming out of a period of probably 6 or so weeks that have been exceedingly wet.
All right, well, Mike, thanks so much for the insight. Tough place to forecast for sure. Western Pennsylvania down through the mountains to terrain becomes such a player.
Yeah, we talk about that terrain helping to enhance the rainfall, and so that could lead to some even higher totals. There's your forecast for tomorrow with the chance of strong, even severe thunderstorms, as well as heavy rainfall across parts of the mid-Atlantic back into the Ohio Valley. So we'll be watching places like Morgantown, West Virginia, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Friday night, Pittsburgh, you continue to deal with thunderstorms. Best chance of severe weather will stay south of you into parts of southern Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. By Saturday, there's your nor'easter, bringing the rain, the wind as well. The beaches not going to be the places to be. A washout for your Saturday, likely into a place like Ocean City, or Atlantic City rather. Ocean City, Maryland, though, not looking good either. On Saturday night, we keep rain from D.C. over to Salisbury, Maryland, or Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Going to be a problem spot. Even Sunday, some lingering rain showers, but for many on Sunday, the positive is that we begin to see some improvement. Well, when we come back, Christmas in July, or at least almost a third of the country. That is if you're not a fan of the heat. So who's getting a midsummer break so cool it might even make you think pumpkin spice latte?
No.
So I can get an extra 5% off all this?
Yep.
Right there.
5%. 5%.
The moment you realize you can save big, even on the small stuff.
With your Lowe's Advantage card, you get an extra 5% off every day on items big or small.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when this guy got a flat tire in the middle of the night, so he got home safe.
Yeah, my dad says their insurance doesn't have that.
What? You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
The beer that's as refreshing as refreshment gets. Leinenkugel Summer Shandy.
The best tour of Italy is the one you create at Olive Garden. Create your own tour of Italy starting at $12.99. Choose 3 of 9 of your favorites and have everything you love all on one plate. But hurry, create your own tour of Italy and soon at Olive Garden.
Introducing Lean 13 from Nutrisystem. Lose up to 13 pounds in your first month, guaranteed.
Lose your first 13 pounds fast with Lean 13 from Nutrisystem.
Your 13 can turn into 20, 30, 50, even more. I'm Marie and I lost 50 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Order your 28-day plan right now and we'll rush you Lean 13. Get specially designed meals plus 1 week of new NutriCrush bars to crush cravings free. And 1 week of Turbo Shakes to bust belly bloat free.
Bye-bye, stubborn belly fat.
Plus FedEx shipping absolutely free. With Lean 13, you'll lose up to 13 pounds fast. Lose weight fast. Money back guaranteed.
Belly fat? Busted. Stubborn extra inches? Gone. Unhealthy pounds? Lose them.
Now you can improve your health and have more energy with Nutrisystem.
Your first 13 pounds? Gone.
Go online or call 1-877-498-MEAL right now and get Lean 13 with bars and shakes free.
I make it easy to save $600 on car insurance, so being cool comes naturally. I can't decide if this place is swag or bling.
It's pretzels.
Word. Ladies, you know when you switch, you get my bomb diggity discounts automatically. No duh, right? Sir, you forgot. Keep it. You're gonna need it when I make it precipitate. What?
What?
Hurry into Joseph A. Bank for our 4-day-only specials. All traveler and executive sport coats are just $149. Sport shirts, polos, shorts, and pants just $39. And take an extra 50% off all clearance items. Plus, buy one, get one free store-wide. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
Today's Best Western is more rewarding than ever. Rewards members get our best rates, points for free nights, instant rewards, and a $10 gift card with every night. Rewards points never expire. Let's go get rewarded. Book now at bestwestern.com.
For an easy routine that keeps your home clean, try Tidy Cats Breeze. The number 1 goes through the No Mess litter pellets to the super absorbent odor locking pad. And the number 2 stays on top for easy removal. Switch out the pads once a week. Litter once a month. It's that easy. Tidy Cats Breeze, changing the way you think about litter, 1 box at a time.
Oscar Mayer's making big changes to hot dogs. We went back to the drawing board and the cutting board. We removed the added nitrates and nitrites, byproducts, and artificial preservatives in all of our meat. Every single one. Why? For the love of hot dogs.
Hello, Chicago. 80 degrees right now. And if you like what you feel right now, you are gonna love the weekend. A refreshing shot of cooler, more comfortable air coming in for the northern tier, where some of these spots, you know, we've been talking about the sweltering 90 triple-digit temperatures you've had so far this July. So enjoy it. Take the break. Look at a place like Washington, D.C. We talk about parts of the Midwest and the Northeast. Above average temperatures most days during the month of July. We've had a 2-day streak after the 4th of July, 1 day on the 9th, and then this week things have been a little cooler. And of course our nor'easter is going to help things stay very cool. Also adding in the chance of rain. So unfortunately, a place like D.C., you're not necessarily going to get out and really enjoy it. You might be stuck inside, but it'll let you get some stuff done. There was that shot of air, cooler air moving south. A place like Indianapolis, 81 tomorrow. By Saturday, mid-70s in Buffalo, Burlington, and Pittsburgh. We've got 79 in Marquette, but we keep it cool into the mountains of West Virginia, western PA on Sunday. 73 Boston, upper 70s in D.C. and in New York. So you're not getting this sweltering 80s and 90s. In fact, it'll be comfortable to even walk to the metro on Monday. 83 is your high there to start the week. 79 in Norfolk, Virginia. Low 70s in Boston. Low 80s in Buffalo. D.C. forecast highs look like this. Your average is 88. So we're below the mark on Friday. But thanks to the rain, the cloud cover, and the winds of our nor'easter, we're looking at low and upper 70s for the upcoming weekend. So significantly below average, Mike. I don't think a lot of people will be complaining. They will complain about the rain, but, you know, the shot of cooler temperatures.
The temperatures are fine, though. Yeah. This time of year, you don't often get this kind of cool shot.
No.
The South is going to get a little bit of that feel too, right? Let's talk about it. So drier air on the north side of the system, right? So lower dew points, lower humidity, but you've got the humid air south of that front. That's where you have the storms that'll fire up. But once that front clears you, oh, it's going to feel so nice. Humid air is pushed well to the south. A lot of our southern states here that you've been baking lately, and you have been just flat out sweating. You're going to get a lot more comfortable. Here's 11 o'clock in the morning on Friday. We get some dew points out there in the 70s. By the afternoon and that evening, look at the dew points coming down to the 50s and 60s. I mean, you can see the front right there push its way south, right? That's
yeah, it is.
I'm going to use one word to describe what's coming. It's nice, huh? I should trademark that. So, forecast highs tomorrow. They're not that bad. Temperatures mid to upper 80s, but again, it's going to be on the humid side. Saturday, temperatures are going to be warm again, but it's midday Saturday. You start to feel that front come down in, and temperatures are going to plummet, and the dew points plummet. So these numbers now, again, aren't that far off from where you expect to be this time of year, but it's drier air. So the moment you step outside, you're not sweating to just walk into the mailbox and back. That's a decent looking forecast, okay? Temperatures for you in Atlanta, they dip slightly. Sunday's your money day. 84 degrees, low humidity, go outside, grill out, do whatever, slip and slide, you name it. You're going to love it. Temperatures trend basically mid to upper 80s for the rest of the period, though. After we get rid of the thunderstorms, it's barely a cloud in the sky, Alex. I mean, we're just pushing everything out, and it's sunshine galore.
Blue sky, not super humid. Yeah. This is patio weather to the max. All right, a place like Jackson, Mississippi, Dallas, Texas. We're looking at you because you're not going to necessarily get in on that ultra cool down. Jackson right now, 93 degrees, but feels like 101. How about a feels like temperature of 102 in Dallas with a high of 100? What are those, bees or wasps? It appears there's a wasp nest in our Jackson, Mississippi camp. That, of course, the second I brought attention to it, they stopped.
I saw it kind of up there at the top.
Yeah. They keep coming in for a landing, whatever they are.
Nasty. We got to get some
raid. The spray stuff.
Spray. We just put that tape up there. And
there you go. I don't want to go. Everybody's playing rock, paper, scissors to who does maintenance work on that camera.
All right, so we showed a lot of places are cooling down. There'll be some places that are on the opposite end of that spectrum, though, including the Mid-South. Look at all the heat advisories here. Take a look at the heat index in Dallas. It feels like 103, 107 in Little Rock. It feels like 102 for you right now in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, in Houston, my submission for the sweatiest city in America right now feels like 103.
It's doing it.
I guess they're not beating Little Rock, but they're still holding tough.
It's uncomfortable, to say the least.
Yeah, temperatures, there are 100 in Austin, Texas. That's a cool city, but it's hot right now. It's a neat place to go. Yeah. We're going to stay hot into the overnight and then during the day tomorrow. Look at those overnight temps. Low 80s.
Overnight. Your air conditioning is just like cranked and begging for mercy, right? All right, we come back here on Weather Underground. Hope you can stick around because it's July Madness around here. Weather geeks all watching the big dance. Dr. Rick Knapp rejoins us with the update on the twirling Hillary and Irwin, the Fujiwara they're about to do.
Fujiwara? You know it. He's going to talk about it next.
Pick a car. Any car.
Just want to find a used car without getting ripped off.
Search millions of used cars and find a great deal at Carfax.com.
That would help. Show me the Carfax.
Only Carfax gives you the most accurate price based on a car's history. Just look at all the great deals.
Thanks, buddy.
Boom.
Show me the Carfax.
Start your used car search and get free Carfax reports at the all-new Carfax.com.
The average family's below average deck. It's inspired one incredible makeover. Just clean, conceal, cover. It's your made-to-last deck. One great leap for bare feet. Bare Deck Over. Available in 3 finishes. Only at the Home Depot.
There's an opportunity in every window. A view
connecting in here to an entire world of out there. So start your day opening the window to your weather with AMHQ. Watch Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno looking out at the stories and the science behind your forecast. Open up your mornings with AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 85 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 71. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy, high 84. Winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, a mostly clear sky, low 64. Winds east-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Coffee Mate helps you stir up a rich, creamy flavor. It can inspire you to stir up other things too, like a new friendship. Stir up commitment with Coffee Mate ice cream flavors.
I take pictures of sunrises, but with my back pain, I couldn't sleep and get up in time. Then I found Aleve PM.
Aleve PM is the only one to combine a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour pain-relieving strength of Aleve.
I'm back.
Aleve PM for a better AM.
Classic Hershey's, plus Cookie Bits, plus caramel. Hershey's Cookie Layer Crunch, a layered twist on a classic.
See what you like, pay no mind, 'cause I've heard it before 1,000 times. You can break my bones, but you'll never.
While other insurance companies just see a truck, we see something you've worked really hard for. So why not give it the protection it deserves?
It's just what you see.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-300-7112 or go to mesobook.com.
I won this 55-inch TV for less than $30 on DealDash.com.
I got this $1,200 computer for $100.71.
These aren't actors, they're real people who got real savings at DealDash.com, the fair and honest bidding site. At DealDash.com, you can save up to 99%, but hurry, everything must go.
And shipping is always free.
Visit DealDash.com and start bidding today.
Any one of us is just a bad storm or a wrong turn from a survival scenario.
Oh, it's palpable, isn't it? 25 days until the total solar eclipse moves across the U.S. It happens on Monday, August 21st, from Oregon to South Carolina. We have special coverage for you all day long on the Weather Channel. You're not going to miss it. We've got the eclipse in every time zone. You're going to absolutely love it. And actually, we're even going out into the Atlantic Ocean to show you the eclipse. It is going to be awesome. Hear that? Can you see? That looks like a hurricane in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And you're thinking, Bettis, they don't get hurricanes in Colorado. Yes, I know that, but it looks like a hurricane. The thunderstorm that came whipping through with big wind, heavy rain, they actually had winds that carried the hail all over the place. Some of that you can't even see in there. The winds are so strong, throwing it sideways. That slowed the mornings right into work, that's for sure. That happened yesterday morning, by the way. So across the west, and portions of Colorado considered to be in a monsoon pattern where we get the seasonal shift of winds that causes us some storms. And some of those active storms can also be very, very picturesque, if you will. Take this as an example. How about the big thunderstorm that happened yesterday right over the El Paso National Weather Service radar site? You had this big downburst that came out of the storms, right? What was really fascinating about this, not that the photo isn't amazing, was what the radar captured. Massive outflow, but a completely circular outflow. So right there where you see the void, that's where the radar is. That's called the cone of silence because it can't really shoot right at the immediate location of the radar because the beam shoots out. But as the storm developed right over the site, down came the rain. Look at the outflow. You see that? That's actually the strong storm, and you saw the picture of the rain coming down, forcing air out from the storm. And when it's stationary like this, you get this nice, beautiful, circular outflow where wind flows out in all directions. You don't often see that. It's actually pretty rare to get one that unique. What does a typical outflow look like? Usually, it's a relatively straight line, or it's a curved line, if you will. We actually had some storms yesterday that moved through Georgia. There are the storms right there. You had a bit of a line of storms here, backwards or forward shape C, and see the outflow right there? See that line right there? That's the storm and the wind flowing out from it. That's more of a typical outflow. But that circular one, absolutely dynamic. Alex is up in the lab. She's got a really unique demonstration for you and how these outflows work.
Yeah, any opportunity to play with stuff, I'm going to do it. But, you know, you mentioned that storm stationary, and that allowed us to get that really unique outflow boundary. So I'm going to take this bottle of water. I am the stationary storm. And look at that. We've got that outflow boundary here, and then that would proceed to move out in all directions. When the storm's stationary, it's just forcing that air down and it'll be moving out. However, when you add a little storm motion into the mix, now I'm going to shoot it sideways. Take a look at what happens. We get that, as Mike mentioned, that slightly curved line, and that would continue to progress out in the direction of the storm. So interesting stuff when you've got a stationary storm versus a moving storm, Mike.
Yeah, love it. And we'll watch for more storms with the monsoon that has kicked in, and we've got plenty of stormy weather happening for us. Let's switch gears. Let's talk about the tropics right now. Our hurricane expert, Dr. Rick Knapp, joining us. We've got all kinds of things to talk about, but you have been harping on this thing coming off the coast of Africa for days now, the one that was impressing you more than what the Hurricane Center was really focused on.
Yeah, and I suspect that next week they might be mentioning the next wave, but for now, they're mentioning this wave, which 3 days ago, which is what this image shows, it was leaving the coast of Africa, but there's also that wave behind it. Watch both of them move. And the one that the Hurricane Center is mentioning is now past 30 degrees west longitude, causing a little bit of thunderstorm activity, but not very impressive. I have my eye on the one that's about to leave the coast.
Why?
Well, one thing is that it is being picked up a little bit more on with the models, and it's just going to be in August. I mean, there's just climatology starting to favor things.
Just something about August.
Yeah, but that wave that's currently over the Atlantic, just too stable, just doesn't look like it's going to do much. Now, the East Pacific has been gangbusters, but it does seem to be on a downward trend. We're left with Irwin and Hillary. The one area to watch behind it isn't very impressive, but if we watch Irwin and Hillary, isn't this adorable? They're kind of holding hands here.
Right?
This is an area of convergence.
They're making a connection, if you will.
They are. There's the southerly flow on this side of Irwin, the northerly flow on this side of Hillary, and you get a little bit of convergence. But the daily update on the dance that they're going to do shows that Irwin and Hillary both weakening, both headed toward cooler water. But watch, Hillary's forecast track is still pretty straight, and it goes over the cooler waters, and then Irwin is the one that is going to be weaker and meandering, get absorbed by Hillary probably by Monday.
So they're going to end up doing this Fujiwara where they spin around each other and Hillary becomes the dominant one.
Absolutely.
All right, Dr. Knapp, thanks for that.
Currently in our area, 85 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 71. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy, high 84. Winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, a mostly clear sky, low 64. Winds east-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Coming up this hour on Weather Underground.
Torrential rain triggers flash flooding, leaving parts of Kansas City underwater. See where heavy rain could trigger more flooding as storms march on.
The storm's now just a preview of what's to come this weekend. An unusual summer nor'easter will bring high winds and flooding targeting 25 million Americans. We show you what to expect and how to prepare for this significant storm.
And we're getting closer and closer to the peak of hurricane season. We look at past quiet Julys that turn into explosive Augusts. Weather Underground continues now. Welcome into Weather Underground. We're tracking, believe it or not, a summer nor'easter set to hit this weekend. Flash flooding, strong winds, big problems at the shoreline. We'll have more on that coming up in just a few moments. I'm Mike Bettis.
And I'm Alex Wilson. Thanks for joining us here on Weather Underground. You know, last night's storms triggered flash floodings on hundreds of roads near Kansas City. This after record rain fell in the metro. At one point, get this, over 2 inches of rain in 45 minutes.
Tons of rescues. Yeah. Countless rescues took place. Take a look.
When I saw the water, I was trying to go back, but my car wouldn't let me. So I just float with the water. I couldn't do anything else but pray and ask God to save me.
Well, the scene had played out dozens of times in Kansas City last night and this morning. Law enforcement saying that areas were underwater today have never flooded before the storms. Today, areas got record rainfall. I mean, look at the dramatic rescues that took place. There are a lot of people. It hit them quickly. They had no idea it was coming.
Scary scenes. I mean, we're seeing buildings, the insides of buildings completely underwater. Terrible stuff for business owners, for folks who had property damage. Yeah, look at this. This is at least a restaurant, if not part of a strip mall, but you can see the water flowing through quickly and right into that restaurant.
There were some places where you had some creeks and streams that came bank full, and it was just a torrent of water that came down that caused these raging rivers in essence. Maybe some places that were normally low or during the summertime they'd run, you know, just to trickle. Now it's a full-fledged river out of its banks.
Yeah, scary stuff. And it does not take a lot of water to cause problems for you. And the reason that we saw the water pile up so quickly here is when you talk about what's on the ground. Literally, the grassy areas, your suburbs versus the more metropolitan areas with all the concrete.
So a place like Kansas City, it's built up. You've got a lot of asphalt, you got a lot of concrete. The rain doesn't soak in, so it hits that and it runs off, goes into the storm drains. The storm drains have to go somewhere. They go into creeks and streams and rivers that go into retention ponds. Eventually those fill up and you've got flooding, or in some instances you get flash flooding where maybe the storm drains can't handle all that water. And the roads then start to take on water. Right, and these small creeks that are in these areas just can't handle all the water either. So big problems. Want to take you to Freeman, Missouri. This just south of Kansas City. A look at the flooding there. So even though the rain may have stopped, the flooding doesn't just immediately subside. Still have this home surrounded by water, and we continue with the flood warning there as well. Let's take a peek at what's happening here in Freeman. We've seen a few spotty raindrops, and when I say spotty, I mean spotty. The cloud cover overhead, though, around parts of the southern Kansas City metro area. Big picture, we've got scattered rain showers. Anything heavy as well to the south and east of the city of Kansas City, closer to St. Louis and points south. This is the area we're now concerned about for the threat of maybe some flooding showers and thunderstorms, that flooding rainfall. In fact, we've got a flash flood warning there along the Kentucky and West Virginia state line, so south of the Huntington area. Here's your future radar. Some heavy showers, thunderstorms roll through parts of Kentucky and Tennessee, also West Virginia.
Virginia. Now, a lot of it dies down through Kentucky and West Virginia, but into Tennessee, North Mississippi will keep some heavy rain going during the overnight and early morning hours of your Friday. And that is why we're concerned about the threat of flooding. Also, we've got a ton of moisture available. So when you wring out the atmosphere in these showers and thunderstorms, there's a lot of moisture to work with. And that's why we have seen some of these really heavy rainfall rates. We look at a time like 9:30 this evening, and we'll slowly watch this high moisture batch work to the south and east. This is what we're looking at in the coming next 2 days through late Saturday afternoon. 1 to 2 inches across a good chunk of the region. Some spots, though, Mike, could see in excess of 3 inches.
It's been a really tough go for us here. With more rain like that, it's going to have a lot of people very, very anxious. And you take a look at where some of the heaviest flooding has happened. What you're looking at here with these triangles are flood gauges at rivers. Where you have purple, you have major flooding happening, and there really is a concentration south of Kansas City where we had some of the heaviest of rain. Some places like the Indian Creek at State Line Road in South Kansas City here, look at how it went from barely anything here to record in a very short period of time. It just shot up because of how quickly the rain came down, and now it's slowly starting to recede, but truly in a matter of hours it went to record stage. Take a look, by the way, at what happens when it gets to that high at 27 feet, which is a new record. At 26 feet, flooding begins to impact commercial buildings near 104th Street. We saw that play out, unfortunately. But you take a look at the Midwest as a whole, no stranger to heavy rain so far this month. Look at the concentration that we've had across Chicago and Madison, back toward the Quad Cities. Some places running 600% of average for the month of July. So it stands to reason, Alex, that we've had flooding issues, and they may actually continue for quite some time.
Yeah, it is awfully soggy across a lot of the country. A place like Atlanta this evening, you've been dealing with showers and thunderstorms. We are looking, I believe, to the east, and makes sense when we look into the darker skies. East and southeast are where we've got the showers and thunderstorms still continuing for the metro area this evening. There's that line of showers, thunderstorms, plenty of lightning as well. We do have this one rogue storm just south of Rome, Georgia. We've seen some storms moving through Greenville, South Carolina this evening as well. So putting a damper on parts of the late day commute for a lot of you. More of those showers and thunderstorms across parts of North Carolina into the state of Alabama. A lot of this will subside as we go through the overnight, but again tomorrow we expect more showers and storms and a greater coverage of the showers and thunderstorms. Mike.
One of the other places that we're watching into the northeast, we've had a few areas of showery weather, although it seems like the skies are lightening up just a little bit as the showers move past you now in New York and Boston. Although we've had some issues at some of the airports, especially in Boston, where we're still running delays at around an hour because of low ceilings here. Most of the rain is finally gone, and the big three airports in New York, improving weather. DC, you've got a little bit of improving weather here as well. You can see a few showers out there. A place like Burlington, we're actually reporting clear skies right now. We've had some showers around Buffalo as well. The heavier storms from, say, the Ohio Valley down toward DC, those will be pushing their way south as we go through the night. There's the future radar. May actually get a couple of brief lines of storms. May come in, maybe say near northern New Jersey, coming in toward maybe Poughkeepsie in New York. So we'll just watch for that, and a chance for some showers as temperatures fall into the 60s from Maine down through the city. For a place like New York, there's your chance later on tonight between, say, 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. You'll watch for some storms. After that, you begin to clear out by 7 o'clock in the morning. You're looking for partly cloudy skies and 71 degrees, so no issues getting on the subway tomorrow. In Boston, your showers ending very, very shortly here, maybe for the next hour, if that. Most of it's all light stuff. So by the time you head out tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, sunshine fills the skies. You're much drier, much calmer weather for you here. So just enjoy. Should be a decent recovery as we head into your Friday. All right, let's show you what's still on tap tonight here on Weather Underground. We've got for you summer nor'easter, cool change, and down and out. Coming up next, summer nor'easter. And you heard that right. A nor'easter has 25 million Americans in its sights. The Atlantic is going to turn angry, and the wind and rain will make for a dangerous weekend. We're going to show you what's coming and exactly where. Then, cool change. After suffering through the hottest days of the year, many will now feel the refreshing change of cooler temperatures and low humidity. Stick around for that. And later, down and out, the monsoon in the west. Well, it's brought downbursts to places like El Paso, Texas. This image, truly stunning. But wait until you see the perfectly circular outflow that the Doppler radar captured. How did it happen? We'll explain coming up. A live look back in Freeman, Missouri, just outside of Kansas City, currently under a flood warning. High water surrounding homes. We'll have the latest when we come back.
The moment you realize, how could there possibly be this many blues?
Don't worry. At Lowe's, we guarantee you'll always love your paint, or we'll replace it.
Get paint and primer now starting at only $17.98 and save an extra 5% with your Lowe's Advantage card.
When you're close to the people you love, does psoriasis ever get in the way of a touching moment? If you have moderate to severe psoriasis, you can embrace the chance of completely clear skin with Taltz. Taltz is proven to give you a chance at completely clear skin. With Taltz, up to 90% of patients had a significant improvement of their psoriasis plaques. In fact, 4 out of 10 even achieved completely clear skin. Do not use if you are allergic to Taltz. Before starting, you should be checked for tuberculosis. Taltz may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Tell your doctor if you are being treated for an infection or have symptoms, or if you have received a vaccine or plan to. Inflammatory bowel disease can happen with Taltz, including worsening of symptoms. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Now's your chance at completely clear skin. Just ask your doctor about Taltz.
I love you so much. That's why I bought 6 of you, for when you stretch out.
I want you to stay this bright blue forever. That's why you'll stay in this drawer, forever.
I can't live without you. And that's why I'll never, ever wash you.
Protect your clothes from stretching, fading, and fuzz with Downy Fabric Conditioner. It smooths and strengthens fibers to protect clothes from the damage of the wash. So your favorite clothes stay your favorite clothes. Downy Fabric Conditioner.
Experience unparalleled luxury at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event before it ends.
Choose from the IS Turbo, ES350, or NX Turbo for $299 a month for 36 months if you lease now.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Today's Best Western is more rewarding than ever. Rewards members get our best rates, points for free nights, instant rewards, and a $10 gift card with every night. Rewards points never expire. Let's go get rewarded. Book now at bestwestern.com.
To feed your phenomenal, Lean Cuisine is changing. Over 20 dishes with no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. With ingredients like toasted coconut and juicy mango in our mango chicken. Feed your phenomenal with Lean Cuisine.
Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy combines German-style Weiss beer with the taste of natural lemonade. It's as refreshing as refreshment gets. Leinenkugel's. Welcome to the Liney side.
There's an opportunity in every window. So start your day opening the window to your weather with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno, looking out at the stories and the science behind your forecast. Open up your mornings with AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
AMHQ weekend is so much fun.
She's right. Sweet Pepto-Bismol. Look at this. It's all about getting you ready for your weekend. It's not that complex, although I do advise wearing a crash helmet.
Well, you've got to get ready from New York to Cape Cod. You've got some big weather happenings coming your way. You often dread this word, nor'easter.
What? No, Mike, we can't have snow in July.
Well, not snow, but you're going to get a nor'easter. And truly, all you need for a nor'easter is just a northeast wind around a closed circulation.
Now, frequently we get these in the winter accompanied by snow, but not out of the question, although unusual, to get one this strong.
Incredibly unusual. July?
Yeah.
A nor'easter? What's going on, right? Well, tomorrow we've got a flood threat along this front, okay, as this storm system begins to push its way farther to the east. Now, the upper airflow is really important here because we get this strong upper level low high in the atmosphere with the accompanying winds that really begin to dig across the south now. So now you're digging out a really big trough, and if you can embed a low at the surface within that trough, you're off to the races.
Right, and we're going to get this storm system strengthening during the day Saturday, and this is the day you're really going to feel those impacts. And it's not just precipitation, not just rain that we're going to have, but also wind, onshore flow, and Mike, you brought up a great point. That's going to lead to rip currents, and a lot of folks are at those beaches.
A lot of things to talk about. So 25 million people under flash flood watches. Heavy rain threatens these areas. Joining us now to talk about it is Greg Carbon, Forecast Operations Branch Chief, the Weather Prediction Center. Greg, thanks for being with us. We outlined it there. What's coming into play here? What are the results of this going to be?
So we're looking at about 3 to 5 inches of rainfall over a period of about 24 hours, starting during the day tomorrow, mostly tomorrow night into Saturday. As you mentioned, this system does appear to be a kind of a nor'easter, but in the summertime, which is rather unusual. The ingredients, though, are different than you might see in a wintertime or cool season nor'easter. Tremendous amount of moisture being wrapped up into this storm system as it moves and develops across the mid-Atlantic, and that's going to be wrung out in the form of very heavy rainfall across parts of Maryland, Virginia, southern Pennsylvania, and New Jersey.
Yeah, and we look at a lot of these regions, and we know these can also have terrain coming into play. How concerned are you about the threat of flash flooding, maybe in some of these more mountainous areas that do get in on the heavy rain?
Well, the Weather Prediction Center currently has a moderate risk out for excessive rainfall. That would be rainfall exceeding what we consider the threshold for flash flooding. So indeed, those areas that are susceptible to fast water rises need to keep an eye out for this system as it develops through the night tomorrow night. That terrain does play a role, and there are a number of areas across the mid-Atlantic that have susceptible, what we call basins, for rapid rises. And so those areas that are getting very heavy rain over a very short period of time need to be aware that water rises are a threat for tomorrow evening into Saturday morning.
It just is so odd to see that we're talking about this kind of system in July. Greg, thanks so much for the insight. Certainly, wind becomes an issue with this as well. We talked a lot about the rain, but if you've got saturated soil and some of these trees become weak in the ground, they're going to go over in a big wind.
You bet. And with the winds in play that we're up against, Mike, that's definitely a possibility. Take a look at our wind forecast and where we think things are headed in the coming hours. 20 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts when you wake up on Saturday. But now we're going to get you through the afternoon. Places like Ocean City, Atlantic City, 40, 50 mile per hour gusts in the cards for you. You mentioned a saturated ground. This could take down trees. Power outages may be an issue. Those winds begin to relax a bit into the day Sunday, but still going to remain awfully breezy, at least in places like Ocean City, Maryland, as well as Atlantic City, New Jersey. And we talk about wind being a big problem at the airport, so we do anticipate some big delays at those big metro airports, including D.C. and Baltimore, where we think major delays are possible, moderate delays perhaps in a place like New York or Norfolk, Virginia. Well, a lot more still to come here on Weather Underground. Our hurricane expert joins us next, talking about chances of development in the Atlantic, and tells us, though, even though this July has been quiet, it doesn't mean the trend will continue into August. Hear what he has to say next.
Nick was born to move. Not necessarily after 3 toddlers with boundless energy. But lower back pain won't stop him from keeping up. Because at a Dr. Scholl's kiosk, he got a recommendation for our best custom-fit orthotic to relieve his foot, knee, or lower back pain from being on his feet by reducing shock and stress on his body with every step. So look out, world. Dad's taking charge. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
Why do we insist on 100% Alaskan whitefish? Why do we always hand dip in our famous batter, cook it to golden perfection, and serve it with fries for just $1.99? Because at Long John Silver's, we think you deserve more for $1.99.
Dogs used to hunt to satisfy their cravings. Now, the hunt is over. New Peak from Rachel Ray Nutrish. With 30% protein and 0% grains. Protein-rich Peak from Nutrish. Real recipes, real ingredients, real good.
You totaled your brand new car. Nobody's hurt, but there will still be pain. It comes when your insurance company says they'll only pay 3/4 of what it takes to replace it. What are you supposed to do, drive 3/4 of a car? Now, if you had Liberty Mutual new car replacement, you'd get your whole car back. I guess they don't want you driving around on 3 wheels. Smart.
With Liberty Mutual new car replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
AMHQ weekend is a blast. I mean, we had so much fun.
Hi, store number 1. How you doing? See you later, because you're going to go out into the Atlantic and we're never going to see you again.
AMHQ weekend is so much fun.
She's right. Sweet Pepto-Bismol. Look at this.
We're a little bit more laid back because it's the weekend.
It's not that complex. It's all about getting you ready for your weekend. Although I do advise wearing a crash helmet.
Attention! If you had surgery to repair a hernia, listen closely. Ethicon has recalled its PhysioMesh flexible composite mesh. This product may cause pain, swelling, bowel obstructions, infections, mesh failure, and hernia recurrence. If you had hernia repair surgery in 2006 or later and suffered complications that required additional surgery, you may be entitled to compensation.
Call Sokolov Law, 1-800-706-2307 for a free legal consultation. 1-800-706-2307. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
It's not a good feeling when you walk into a shop and absolutely everything doesn't work for you.
I felt like when I went shopping with my friends, I couldn't get the styles I wanted and the sizes that were available to me. What's great about Dia & Co. is I get my own personal stylist.
I can't wait to try this on. There's always something in a box for me every month that I know I'm gonna love.
Keep what you love, send back the rest. Get your first box today at Dia.com.
Dia & Co. is tailored self-confidence in a box. It's a game changer.
Weekend Recharge is... We want you to unplug, so get lost in the weather.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, some clouds, low 71. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy sky. Friday night, mostly clear, low 64. Winds east-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Well, the Atlantic Basin slowly coming to life as we get closer to the peak months of hurricane season. Our former Hurricane Center Director, Dr. Rick Knabb, now our hurricane expert, joins us now to talk about what's happening here in the Atlantic and if we need to get concerned about this area.
Well, we always need to be concerned about what's going on near Africa because those are the seedlings that lead to most of the hurricanes and major hurricanes, especially during the peak months of the hurricane season. We're right on the doorstep of that as we are about to leave July, head into August, and we're getting a taste of things to come with this area to watch out in the central tropical Atlantic. Hurricane Center giving us a 3 out of 10 shot over the next 5 days. Slowly moving tropical wave interacting with the monsoon trough. A higher chance that it isn't going to form, and we might need to be more closely watching the wave that's behind it. Here's the current wave 3 days ago as it left Africa. Here's the next wave. Watch both of them move along, and this is a 2 to 4 day cycle of a new wave coming off the coast of Africa, and as it interacts with the monsoon trough, that's where the thunderstorms are concentrated, but a lot of stable air. I'd more likely see the next one develop. The models are suggesting that that's the case, but neither one of them has a high chance of formation, but we're still in July. Just look, 2 weeks from now, we get in the middle of August, the chances of having a named storm on any given day double. Right. And then they double again over the next 2 weeks. So August is a serious ramp up climatologically in the chances of having something forming. So I thought we'd take a look at just how different July can be from August, looking at some past years.
Yeah, and because I think a lot of people think, oh, well, it's been quiet this month, that means it will be quiet next month. But you found some examples where that was the opposite of the case.
Yeah, not only is July frequently quiet, it's often dead. No named storms. I picked 5 years where that was the case and then took a look at what August was like. And 2004 takes the cake because it had 8 named storms and 5 hurricanes, some majors in there, including Charlie and Francis. And then in September, he had Ivan and Jean. And that was a year in which Alex was the first named storm of the year in the beginning of August.
I like to get things started.
Yeah, and you certainly did in 2004. 2012, similar, nothing in July. 8 storms in August, and one of those was Isaac that hit the northern Gulf Coast in August. So July being quiet didn't make those folks feel any better. 1999, 4 named storms, including Category 4 Brett that went into the coast of Texas after nothing happened in July. I put 1992 on the list. It's a little bit of an oddball. There was nothing in January to July, but then we had one Cat 5 hit South Florida.
And
Talk about flipping the switch. You go from nothing to a Cat 5 landfall.
Right.
That's what August can do. Catch you off guard. 2016, even last year, 4 named storms after nothing in July. 3 of them hurricanes, one of them Hermine that broke the Florida hurricane drought that was over a decade long. So don't think just because July's been quiet that August will be the same way.
Yeah, July is not by any means a harbinger of what's to come. Want to talk not just Atlantic but also Pacific. We have seen a pretty active Eastern Pacific right now. What do you say we go to Kauai? In Hawaii, 86 degrees. Doesn't this look like a tranquil little patch of rocks? You sit here and you just enjoy being in Hawaii.
They got the black lava rocks up there, don't they, Nab?
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. You get all kinds of different colors of the sand and the rocks and the beaches there, depending on what volcanic activity you've had in the past.
You worked out here.
Yeah, I spent 4 years total of my life living in Hawaii, 2 of them at the Central Pacific Hurricane Center, and we looked very closely at what's going on in the Eastern Pacific because 2/3 of the Central Pacific systems come from the East Pac. Now, the Eastern Pacific doesn't go through this quiet July, busy August kind of thing. The East Pac goes up and down all year long during hurricane season, but the Central Pacific, its busiest time is in August. So we're right on the doorstep of the busiest time in the Central Pacific. So I picked 5 of the busiest years in August for the Central Pacific. These 5 years all had either 4 or 5 named storms just in August, and no other month has had as many as 3. You see some of those Julys had 3, some of them had 1. But 2009, you see that second one on the list? Alex, Mike, that was the year I was deputy director out at Central Pacific Hurricane Center. 4th busiest Central Pacific season on record, and we had to fly hurricane hunters out there. Felicia brought some flooding to Hawaii. So August is the busiest month in the Central Pacific.
Thankfully, though, Hawaii is a really tiny target, and recently, though, it's gotten missed. Everything that's threatened there has missed.
Yes, and it is a small target compared to the size of the Pacific Ocean, but here's the irony. Iniki hit in September, and Eva hit in 1982 in November. So just because it's the busiest in August in the Central Pacific doesn't mean it's the worst for Hawaii.
Good stuff as always. We've got much more still to come on Weather Underground, talking weekend nor'easter next.
Hi. Oh, hi. Welcome to the neighborhood. I brought you this pie to see if you're weird.
Wow, that smells intrusive.
It is.
Did you want to come in, maybe snoop around a bit?
That's why I'm here.
Wouldn't it be great if everyone said what they meant?
Ooh, I smell onions.
The Citi Double Cash Card does. Only Citi lets you earn 1% cash back when you buy and 1% as you pay. The Citi Double Cash Card. Double means double.
On my travels across the country, I came across this house with water dripping from the ceiling. You never know when something like this will happen. So let the Geico Insurance Agency help you with homeowners insurance and protect yourself from things like fire, theft, or in this case, water damage. Now, if I had to guess, I'd say somewhere upstairs there's a broken pipe.
Let the Geico Insurance Agency help you with homeowners insurance. Call today to see how much you could save.
Introducing Cologuard.
I'm here for an important reason. Colon cancer screening. If you're age 50 or older and at average risk, Cologuard finds cancer and precancer. And it's a non-invasive test you can use at home. In fact, I'm as easy as get, go, gone. How do you get me? Your doctor orders me, and I'm delivered directly to your doorstep. There's no need for time off or special prep because I use the DNA in your stool to find colon cancer. Then you just go. I mean, collect your sample. Then I'm gone. Just ship me to the lab. Gotta go.
Cologuard is intended for individuals at average risk for colon cancer. Cologuard is not for high-risk individuals, including those with a history of colon cancer or polyps, IBD, certain hereditary cancer syndromes, or a family history of colon cancer. Cologuard, colon cancer screening that's as easy as get, go, gone. Ask your doctor if Cologuard is right for you.
Action. Dogs love my Nutrish treat. Whoa.
New real meat treats from Rachel Ray Nutrish, inspired by recipes from Rachel's Kitchen. U.S. beef or chicken is the first ingredient. Treats from Nutrish. Real recipes, real ingredients, real good.
Salonpas. We're the world leader in medicinal pain patches.
Our latest innovation, Salonpas Lidocaine, using hydrogel-based technology with the maximum strength lidocaine
you can buy without a prescription.
Salonpas Lidocaine. Nothing is proven stronger or more effective against pain.
Oh, you're not taking these.
Hey. You're not taking those.
Whoa. You're not taking that. Come with me.
You're not taking that.
You're not taking that.
You're not taking that.
Mom, I'm taking the Subaru.
Don't be late.
Even when we're not there to keep them safe, our Subaru Outback will be.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
There's an opportunity in every window. So start your day opening the window to your weather with Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno looking out at the stories and the science behind your forecast. Open up your mornings with AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
Closed captioning brought to you by Nonex Fungal Nail Clarifying Gel.
Recognize this? It's keratin debris. Nonex clears out keratin debris where nail fungus thrives. With Nonex, your nails look clear and healthy again.
Available at Walmart and Walgreens.
A look at our big story tonight from coast to coast, dangerous flash flooding. You're watching Weather Underground. I'm Alex Wilson.
And I'm Mike Bettis. You saw the scenes play out right there. We're closely watching another round of storms that could bring some flooding, very similar, potentially across parts of the Ohio Valley into the mid-Atlantic. Some places get more than half a foot of rain. We're going to break down the impacts coming up in just a moment.
Yeah, I want to show you some new video out of Freeman, Missouri. This about 40 miles south of Kansas City. They picked up more than 7 inches of rain in just 24 hours. And get this, more than 2 inches of that rain fell in less than a single hour. And that led to scenes like this.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Trucker had to be rescued. They bring out the inflatable, had to get him out of his cab. A lot of people caught off guard on the roadways. Turn around. Don't drown. Truly words to live by. You see that high water, you're in your vehicle. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Just turn around, find another dry route, or you could end up in a very similar spot. Let's talk about what happened for us here, because it was a really intense night of storms around Kansas City. One storm after another, then another line came through and another one behind that. At least 4 different storm systems that came through. And what we do is we call that training. So basically storms happen over the same locations over and over and over, like cars on a train track. They just go over the same spot over and over and over, one after another after another. It causes flooding. Big time storms for us late last night and then early this morning that led to all the flooding and the high water rescues. Place like Fisher Park, 4 inches of rain. Lexington Park, over 5.5 inches of rain. And then heavy rain fell in Fontana, over 7.5 inches of rain. In Harrisonville, we had 4 1/4. You get the point here. All that falling in just a couple of hours' time, it led to some flooding. Here's a look at Coach's Bar and Grill in Kansas City. Great little place here. You can see nice inside. But what happened afterwards, just tragic. 3 to 4 feet of water inside the restaurant here. And a lot of businesses took on high water. A lot of homes took on water. A lot of places still recovering. The water hasn't receded yet either.
Yeah, I mean, you would not know without the backdrop that this was a restaurant. I mean, a ton of water up to the tabletop. So a lot of damage, unfortunately, for businesses in the area as well. We're looking at Paducah, Kentucky right now. One of the locations that we are concerned for the threat of very, very heavy rainfall. We've got a lot of moisture to work with in the atmosphere, and so we could see a similar situation. What we had in the Kansas City metro area set up elsewhere with this very, very saturated atmosphere in place. Right now, we've been watching rain and thunderstorms move through parts of Arkansas, parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. This is the area that we're most concerned about. Also getting into parts of north and west Mississippi. These areas could pick up some of those heavier rain showers. You get one slow-moving rain shower, or as Mike mentioned, some training showers in the storms that continue to move over the same areas, and that is what leaves you with the problem. So these are the shower thunderstorm areas right now. We've got a severe warning there in Arkansas. We've got a flash flood warning here into southwest Pennsylvania, another one along the Kentucky-West Virginia state line. So already seeing some trouble because of the rainfall. Watch the future radar, though. These are the areas: western Kentucky, western Tennessee, Arkansas, north parts of Mississippi, where we'll continue to see heavy rain, and that will linger into the overnight and morning hours of your Friday. Still to come across parts of Tennessee, a good stretch of 1 to 2+ inches of rainfall, including around the Nashville area. And then we'll also be looking up for some locally higher totals here into the state of West Virginia. Say around the Taze Valley area could see some especially high totals in excess of 3 inches, Mike.
All right, well, now into the northeast areas here, and you're taking a live look at New York, Philadelphia, and Boston. You're going to have little spits and bouts of some rain, but for the most part, you're going to trend on the drier side as we go through tonight and tomorrow as you ease your way into the weekend. But the weekend is going to provide a whole lot of different weather, okay? But show what's happening right now. If you look at the satellite, you can pick out where the storms are. Just, excuse me, just look for the blues or the greens on the map. That's where you have the storms that are happening for us right now. I knew that would happen. I start to cough as soon as I needed to talk.
You want to tag somebody in? Do you need a
want
minute?
it?
I'll tag. Here.
I'll tag in.
Tag in. I got this. You take a sip of water. I got this covered.
Done.
I got the water covered. Hey, there are those flash flood warnings. Let's take a closer look at this one here into southwestern parts of Pennsylvania. Flash flood warning right along the West Virginia state line. So we look at Fayette County, actually falls right in line to where our guest from the National Weather Service office in Pittsburgh was talking to us about his concern for flash flooding. We take you into parts of West Virginia and Kentucky. These are areas susceptible to flooding. You get into that hilly terrain, that mountainous terrain. Lawrence, Mingo, Wayne counties under a flash flood warning until 8:30. Paintsville, Kentucky still seeing the rain, and a batch of heavier rain working from Portsmouth, Ohio down to areas north of Huntington. So Ironton, Ohio could be getting in on some heavier rain showers. Let's take you over to Charleston, West Virginia. Flash flood watch goes into effect at 7 p.m. this evening. This is just one of the cities across that state as well as the region that is bracing for very heavy rainfall. Right now 73 degrees. You see the hillside, the hilltops, and that makes these areas susceptible to the flash flooding.
Going to happen for us here short term, going to happen for us going into the weekend as well. So let's talk about the waterlogged states there, including Charleston, West Virginia.
Yeah, we want to bring in Jonathan Wolf with the National Weather Service office there in Charleston. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us. You know, we talk about the mountainous terrain of West Virginia. It makes it a great place to visit during the summer. In fact, I guess there's a Boy Scout jamboree this weekend, but I would imagine it also makes it dangerous when you have these heavy rainfall events possible.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. I heard if you flatten out the state of West Virginia, it's actually bigger than Texas. So you have all that terrain, just kind of funnels all that water right down to the valleys, and that makes for a pretty big flash flood threat here.
Let's talk about what you're expecting here. We've got flash flood watches in effect. Particular parts of the state more susceptible to heavy rain than others?
Yeah, this morning we got clocked pretty good, and we're still expecting, you know, all the way through even tomorrow evening to still get some more rain. We've got a lot of moisture coming in, and there's if we were to point someplace out, I think down in the southern part of our state would kind of be one of the more I guess places to watch out for, as well as up in the north of the northern part of our area, just south of the north part of the West Virginia Panhandle.
Yeah, you know, we talk about the southern part of the state, and that's where a lot of folks are out and about, where you would do the rafting this time of year, some camping, hiking. Around those places, say like Beckley or Lewisburg, how do you get the message out to these people, given that, you know, you want to kind of drop off the grid as part of your vacation?
Yeah, well, we rely heavily on emergency managers and other folks that we kind of prepare them ahead of time to get our message out and make sure all of our equipment's working properly. And you know, preparedness is probably the best thing we can do, is just let people know how to react when they do experience flash flooding and stuff like that. So we try our best, and hopefully the message goes through. We use Facebook and social media, Twitter, any means necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. Jonathan Wolf joining us from the National Weather Service in Charleston. Jonathan, thank you very much. Good advice there. Just know ahead of time what your risk is going to be so you know what to anticipate when you're there.
Right. I know summer vacations, you want to go, I don't want to take my phone, have it on, but at least have it able to get you the warning should you be in one of those areas. Let's talk about the forecast getting into tomorrow, because now we're going to watch a decent amount of real estate roadways as well. So if you're traveling somewhere for the weekend, 81, parts of 95, 64, we get you into even the Interstate 81 corridor all the way down into parts of Tennessee. This is going to be the area that brings the best chance of strong, severe thunderstorms, even the flash flooding risk, because as we know, the severe thunderstorms, they can offer up the hail, the damaging winds, the isolated tornado, but they can also produce some very, very exceptional rainfall rates. So watch for that tomorrow. We get you into Friday night. Now we're still watching severe weather into the Carolinas, parts of southern sections of Virginia, the southern tip of the Delmarva Peninsula, but rain extending up into, say, the Lehigh Valley, the Pittsburgh area, even Wheeling, West Virginia, dealing with some steadier rain showers. By Saturday, really the shower thunderstorms will be focused into parts of the mid-Atlantic. Wind as well, going to be a big problem for you. So not a beach day. I know it's not what you want to hear if this is your weekend with the condo, but unfortunately, that's what you're up against. Pack some games, pack some cards. Mike, at least the good news is we get into our Sunday and things start to improve for many.
Keeping our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Keeping our fingers crossed. Yeah. We come back here on Weather Underground. A lot more to cover for you here. Christmas in July for maybe a third of the country. If you're not a fan of the heat, you're going to like this forecast.
This program brought to you by Panera Bread. Food as it should be.
At Panera, a salad is so much more than one thing. More than one flavor or texture or color. A good, clean salad is so much more than green. And with Panera Catering, more for your event. Panera, food as it should be.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Is this my car?
This is ridiculous!
This is ridiculous. Ah!
From car insurance to car loans, State Farm is here to help life go right.
I take pictures of sunrises, but with my back pain, I couldn't sleep and get up in time. Then I found Aleve PM.
Aleve PM is the only one to combine a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour pain-relieving strength of Aleve.
I'm back.
Aleve PM for a better AM.
When these Ram trucks roll out, every minute counts. Every mile matters. Every road leads to someone in need. That's because these Ram trucks belong to the First Response Team of America, and they haul hope to tornado-ravaged towns across the nation, helping communities rebuild and storm survivors start over. This tornado season, buckle up and ride along with the team on the Weather Channel, Ram Trucks, and the First Response Team of America, powering the road to recovery.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. And now, for a limited time, get a $20 credit on any new line of service. Call 1-800-487-0357. Go to consumercellular.com or visit a Target store today.
Coffee Mate helps you stir up a rich, creamy flavor. It can inspire you to stir up other things too, like a new friendship. Stir up commitment with Coffee Mate ice cream flavors.
The beer that's as refreshing as refreshment gets. Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy.
Hello, Discover Card.
Hi, can you tell me about these new Social Security alerts I keep hearing about?
Sure. Just sign up online. Then we'll alert you if we find your Social Security number on any one of thousands of risky websites.
Wow, that's cool. How much is it?
Oh, it's free if you have a Discover Card.
I like free.
Yeah, we just want you to be in the know.
Oh, hey, sushi. Oh, I smell it.
You're making me...
Yeah, being in the know is a good thing.
Know if your social security number is found on risky sites. Free from Discover.
Welcome back. You are looking live at Chicago. Chicago, do you like how it feels right now? I think you're really going to like this weekend. A refreshing change coming from many folks across the Midwest and into the Northeast. So let's talk about it and talk about just how cool it's going to get. There is that much cooler air that'll be diving south. So Northeast, New England, you're going to get that cooler feel also around the Great Lakes region, Chicago into Wisconsin, parts of Michigan. The warm, the hot air, that will stay focused down into the south and central part of the U.S. Tomorrow, your highs in the 70s and 80s, even some spots stuck in the 60s for your Saturday. Notice that really light yellow? That's going to be highs in the 60s. Sunday, we're in the upper 70s for Buffalo, for Pittsburgh. And by Monday, even though we'll warm back up in a place like D.C., 83, perfectly manageable for the final day of July. 71, your high in a place like Boston. So in D.C., where I mentioned 83 is pretty manageable, that's because our average this time of year is around 88 degrees. We're in the low 80s on Friday with thunderstorms moving in, especially during the afternoon. Saturday and Sunday, thanks to the rain, the cloud from that nor'easter system, that's going to keep those temperatures on the cooler side. We're going low 70s Saturday, upper 70s Sunday. So maybe a good weekend to work on that back to school shopping so that when the nice summer weather comes back, you can take full advantage.
For the South, we're not going to miss out on this. It's going to be actually the most noticeable thing you're going to feel across the South is going to be much more refreshing, drier air. So humidity, we're going to bring that down a notch, okay? So there's the system. Warm, humid air, and storms will fire up tomorrow here within that front, at least south of that front. Behind it, though, more stable, cooler, drier air. Watch this system on the move, though, okay? As we get into the weekend, watch that front push down into Florida, and a lot of the southern states now feel a little bit more comfortable, okay? Not nearly as humid. You don't go outside and immediately start sweating. It's not like that at all. Take a look at the dew points, and the higher the dew point, the higher the humidity in the air. Friday, 11 o'clock in the morning, 74 is your dew point in Nashville, 71 in Atlanta. It is just air you can wear. It's sticky out there. But through the afternoon, dew points start to come down as you go through the night. Look at that. You can see the dry air come down with that front, right? A lot cooler air, a lot drier. 55 your dew point in Nashville, 6 o'clock in the evening on Sunday, 59 in Atlanta. So if your temperatures are, say, in the 80s, that's a lot better than dew points in the 60s and 70s, right? Take a look at the numbers. Saturday, temperatures in the mid-80s, upper 80s for a lot of us. Montgomery will be 91 degrees, but again, an 87 in Atlanta with a low dew point is still comfortable, okay? 86 in Nashville, you're not sweating to death? You're liking that. Monday, we're back to 87 in Charlotte, 89 in St. Louis. But again, it's all about how dry the atmosphere is, how quickly you can evaporate sweat and cool yourself. That's going to be the key here. You're going to enjoy the changes that come in this weekend. Let's take you to some places, though, that are still baking. And this weekend, whoo-wee mama. You wish that cold front was coming your way. No luck. Jackson, Mississippi, Dallas, Texas. Both places feel like 100 degrees right now with that heat index. And we actually have heat advisories in a lot of these places because we're on the other end of the spectrum. We're going the other way. We're going up with the temperatures. We're going up with the humidity.
Yeah, we're going to keep it all around. So dog days of summer, all in play across the south central part of the country. In fact, we've got heat advisories for Oklahoma, Texas, parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and even western Alabama. So they're going to feel that heat.
Look at these numbers right now. Heat index 103 in Little Rock. Feels like 101 in Dallas. Feels like 100 degrees for you in Del Rio. These numbers are probably going to get worse before they get better this weekend.
Right. So unfortunately, this is not a quick day of uncomfortable or dangerous heat. It's going to stick around. So keep everything in mind. Children, pets, yourself, the elderly, make sure everybody's staying cool and hydrated. We get into the overnight hours, and this is where it really becomes a problem, the heat. You don't cool off efficiently during the overnight. That's when the heat's dangerous. A low of 81, you're not going to get any relief while you're sleeping.
No, you're thinking, okay, it's going to cool down. The air conditioning's really going to kick in. Your air conditioning's going to run all night long to keep you cool. Tomorrow, 103 in Dallas, 89 in Little Rock, 90 in Wichita, 96 in Corpus Christi. Again, take a look at the forecast on Saturday. 90s and even triple digits. Midland will be 100 degrees, 96 for us in Dallas. So you get the point here. Everyone else that's cooling off, your neighbors just to the east, you don't get that.
Right. Right, so be prepared for it. Unfortunately, not everybody can be a cool, refreshing winter this weekend. I wish you could, though. Hey, when we come back, it is July Madness around here with Weather Geeks watching the big dance. Dr. Rick Knabb rejoins us with the update on twirling Hillary and Irwin.
They do a little Fujiwara dance.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I am totally blind, and Non-24 can throw my days and nights out of sync, keeping me from the things I love to do. Talk to your doctor and call 844-214-2424.
Dogs used to hunt to satisfy their cravings. Now, the hunt is over. New Peak from Rachel Ray Nutrish. With 30% protein and 0% grains. Protein-rich Peak from Nutrish. Real recipes, real ingredients, real good.
Dude, you're crunching, scaring the fish.
Dude, they're just jealous.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran Crunch with crunchy clusters and the taste of apples and strawberries.
I got one!
Guess we're having cereal for dinner.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran Crunch Apple Strawberry.
There's an opportunity in every window. A view connecting in here to an entire world of out there. So start your day opening the window to your weather with AMHQ. Watch Jim Cantori, Stephanie Abrams, and Jen Carfagno looking out at the stories and the science behind your forecast. Open up your mornings with AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, some clouds, low 71. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy skies, high 84. Winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, mostly clear, low 64. Winds east-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The best tour of Italy is the one you create at Olive Garden. Create your own tour of Italy starting at $12.99. Choose 3 of 9 of your favorites and have everything you love all on one plate. But hurry, create your own tour of Italy and soon at Olive Garden.
My sweetheart's gone, sayonara. This scarf, all that's left to remember.
What? She washed this like a month ago.
The long-lasting scent of Gain, now available in matching scents across your entire laundry routine.
I finally figured out what car to get. Now, where to find the best deal?
You know, why don't I help?
What's that?
Car Gurus. Color?
Silver. Car Gurus?
Low miles, 2 grand below market value, 5-star dealer rating. Ooh, I'm beat.
Let's do it your way then.
I heard that.
Car Gurus. Find great deals from top-rated dealers near you at cargurus.com.
Introducing new Kleenex Multicare. A larger tissue for more responsibilities.
Mom, I'm keeping.
New Kleenex Multicare from America's best-selling tissue brand. Take care, take it on.
Hey, I'm Ty Pennington, and I've got a simple question for you. Are you paying too much for your mortgage? Well, you won't know for sure until you check with Guaranteed Rate. You can do it right now. It's that easy. With Guaranteed Rate's digital mortgage, you can choose from today's lowest rates, check your free credit scores, and even get approved online. Anytime, anywhere. All in just minutes, at no cost to you. Lowering your mortgage payment could save you thousands of dollars. Just take a few minutes right now to see how much you could save.
We were going to rent. That was the going-in plan, but the rate was so low at Guaranteed Rate that we ended up buying.
Whether you're buying a new home or refinancing your current home, get a low, low rate from Guaranteed Rate. Visit rate.com right now to find out how much you could save. Call 1-888-557-1555 or visit rate.com.
AMHQ weekend is so much fun.
She's right. Sweet Pepto-Bismol. Look at this. It's all about getting you ready for your weekend. It's not that complex, although I do advise wearing a crash helmet.
Well, we are offering you one of the most unique views of the event of the year. Partnering with Alaska Airlines so you can see the solar eclipse from 35,000 feet up. The package offers you a trip for two, including 2 nights hotel stay in Portland, Oregon. To enter, all you have to do is sign up at weloveweather.tv/eclipse. Sweepstakes runs through August 7th. You see what we've done here at the Weather Channel. We've taken weather out of the equation. You're going to go above the clouds and get a great view of the eclipse. Well, let's welcome you back in here to Weather Underground. One thing we've covered for you a lot here over the past month or so has been the monsoon across the west. Active once again. Texas, the recipient of a big storm yesterday. Did you see this? A big downburst happened right on the Doppler radar in El Paso. That's a view of it sent by Tim Bryce. He's a National Weather Service meteorologist. Look at the rain just pouring down out of that thunderstorm. That's really a remarkable photograph, isn't it? Maybe more remarkable was what the radar captured, because literally that storm developed right over the radar and came right down on top of it. See this circle right in the middle of the screen here? That's where the radar site is, and there's what's known as the cone of silence. So there's an area immediately around the radar where you can't pick up any precip because the beam is shooting out, and so once it gets out a little bit farther from the beam, from the actual site, you get a look at the rain. So we'll run this again for you. You'll see the storm develop right over top, but then you see this? See this big wide circle around it? That's the outflow from the storm, perfectly circular outflow from a stationary storm. We don't often get these beautiful, perfect circular outflows. Oftentimes you'll get a line of outflow, and these were storms that happened yesterday. South Carolina over into Georgia. There's the storm, and it's moving, right? It's moving east to west, and so the outflow line is right there, moving along with the storm. Let's get a little better explanation now with Alex. She's up in the lab.
All right, yeah, we're going to actually show you on a surface how this storm in particular did its magic. So you mentioned this stationary thunderstorm. So we're going to use this water bottle. This is going to be our thunderstorm. Stationary, not moving, yet progressively dropping more and more water. And what does that give us? Well, it gives us this circle, and you notice that it's spreading out in all directions, similar to the outflow of the storm. The wind is going to hit the ground, head out in all directions. But when you've got a storm that's actually moving, this is going to give you a different kind of outflow, similar to we saw in the Atlanta area. Keep in mind, you've got the storm motion in play, and notice we get that more curved, backward C-shape outline with the outflow or the winds progressing outward in that direction. But this one was a really cool one, and the position right over the radar, man, it doesn't get much better than that.
No, it really doesn't. Yeah. It was just pretty incredible outflows. They're really cool stuff to watch on the radar. Hey, let's show you what's going on in the tropics this evening with our hurricane expert, Dr. Rick Knabb. A little bit of disturbed weather in the Atlantic. All the action, though, lately has been in the Pacific.
Yeah, the Pacific is starting to trend downward, and I'll show you what Irwin and Hillary are up to next. Let's focus first on the Atlantic, and here was the tropical wave that the Hurricane Center is monitoring but 3 days ago. And then here's the wave behind it. I want to show you how these progress and how persistent they are. These tropical waves don't just go away. Once they come off Africa, you can track them for hundreds of thousands of miles.
That's nuts.
So watch this one that leaves Africa. You can see the spin even in the drier portions of the water vapor. See that mid-level spin in there? That's the mid-level circulation characteristic of a tropical wave.
Then it's hard to pick out anything now,
yeah, when they're not that well defined, not that much thunderstorm activity, it's harder to figure out what's going on. But you can see the blow up of thunderstorms nearest that tropical wave axis. But the next one, it looks like a little bit bigger envelope and more consistent thunderstorms. We'll see if the models that are picking up on that are right about it being a little bit more vigorous next week.
Time will tell. We'll take a look.
Yeah, neither one of them going to have a high chance.
The Pacific is interesting. What we do is we overlay the satellite on top of these colors, which are the sea surface temperatures. And Hillary and Irwin, they're kind of on the cusp. They're in the in-between area of the warm water.
Yeah, they've been feeding off this fuel, but they're starting to run out of real estate over the ocean here. So they're going to be headed toward cooler water. So they're both going to weaken over the next several days, but they are going to affect one another, and they're already affecting one another, kind of already holding hands here. Yeah, there's this convergence band, and if you look really closely, there's a spot in the middle there where the clouds aren't moving, because this is going this way, this is going this way, and this way.
They're kind of fighting.
Yeah, so if you were standing in between the two, you'd get no wind. But now, Hillary wins at 75 miles an hour, at least that was at 5 p.m. Eastern. That's not going to stay that way. Irwin is even weaker, and it is going to weaken more quickly, so Hillary's going to be the dominant one. It's going to have the straight track over the next several days as it weakens over the cooler water, and then Irwin is the one that's going to kind of sit nearly stationary and get drawn into Hillary's circulation and go north early next week. Let's do, just to finish this off, our daily update on the Fujiwara. Irwin on the left, Hillary on the right. Watch Hillary go in a straight line. Irwin gets drawn in and eventually will dissipate within Hillary's circulation. Fujiwara and then death for Irwin.
When they spin around each other like that, called the Fujiwara effect, it's pretty wild to see. And it actually just recently happened in the Western Pacific.
Yep.
Now about to happen in the Eastern Pacific. Happens a couple times a year across the globe.
Yeah, mostly in the Western Pacific, a little bit in East Pac, only once every 3 years in the Atlantic.
I feel like it's been forever since we've seen one in the Atlantic.
Yeah, I had to deal with one as a forecaster. It's a difficult forecast.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I'm going to a wedding this weekend. I'm going to break out the Fujiwara. I'll videotape
But
it.
don't practice with one of us, because you'll probably kill one of us.
On the dance floor, you're going to do it.
I'm going to do a Fujiwara.
Right. I like to see that.
Yeah, I'll send the video your way. You can use it next week.
Hey, for all of us here at Weather Underground, thank you so much for watching.
Have a great night. Remember, together we know more. I'm going to scorch you with my clouds.
I'm going to Fujiwara out of here.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, some clouds, low 71. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy skies. High 84. Winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, mostly clear. Low 64. Winds east-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Forget black cats or breaking mirrors.